Hello students, today let's discuss about the next topic, that is cardiac cycle. Now the term cardiac refers to heart. Cardiac cycle refers to the cycle of events which take place during the time of a heartbeat. Now let's see what are the cyclic events that take place during a heartbeat. As you all know, the blood, the cardiac muscles present in the heart help in a rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart, during which the blood will be pumped. Isn't it? Okay. So, the contraction of the heart, that is called as systole. A new term which you have not heard so far, that is systole. So contraction of heart is called as systole, and relaxation of heart is called as diastole. Right? So the two terms that you have to remember when you study about cardiac cycle is, one is systole, another one is diastole. Systole means contraction and diastole means relaxation. To begin with, a cardiac cycle, in the beginning, both the atria and the ventricles will be in relaxed position. So let me, before going into this detail, let us first recollect the pathway of blood. Yesterday we have discussed that. That is, the right auricle receives deoxygenated blood from various parts of the body through two major veins called as the vena cava. Right? The superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So the deoxygenated blood reaches the right auricle, and from there, so deoxygenated blood reaches the right auricle, and from there the blood will be flowing into the right ventricle. Right? From the right ventricle, the blood will be, that is, the deoxygenated blood will be taken to the lungs by pulmonary artery. The only artery which carries deoxygenated blood, that is the pulmonary artery. So from the right ventricle, the pulmonary artery takes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Now from the lungs, what happens is, from the lungs, by four pulmonary veins, the oxygenated blood reaches the left auricle or the left atria. Right? Now, from the left atria, the blood, that is oxygenated blood, will be moving to the left ventricle, and from there it moves to the different parts of the body by the largest artery called as the aorta and its branches, that is the arteries. And from the different parts of the body, the deoxygenated blood reaches back to the right auricle through the two main veins, that is the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. So this is the pathway of blood. So once again, from the deoxygenated blood from the different parts of the body through the two large veins, that is superior and inferior vena cava, reaches the right auricle. From there, the blood will be pumped into the right ventricle. From there, the pulmonary artery takes it to the lungs for purification. And after purification, the four pulmonary veins bring back the oxygenated blood to the left auricle. From there to the left ventricle, and from there, with the help of the aorta and other arteries, it will be supplied to different parts of the body. So this is the pathway of blood. Now, in the beginning, what happens is of a cardiac cycle. So this is a pathway of blood. Now, what happens first is, both the auricles and the ventricles will be in relaxed position. These are the auricles and these are the ventricles. Auricles and ventricles will be in relaxed position, and that is called as joint diastole. So two terms which you have to remember, one is systole and one is diastole. So first event in a cardiac cycle is joint diastole. This lasts for about 0.4 seconds, 0.4 seconds. Okay, so 0.4 second is joint diastole, wherein both the atria and the ventricles will be in relaxed position. And when it is in relaxed position, what happens is the AV valves, that is a tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve, will be open. Now slowly what happens is the blood from the vena cava, that is the superior and inferior vena cava, will be drained slowly into the right auricle. Simultaneously, the blood from the lungs, that is oxygenated blood from the lungs, will be drained into the left atria through the 4 pulmonary veins. So the atria will be slowly getting filled with blood. And then what happens is, as the atria gets filled with the blood, the SAN, I hope you remember what is SAN, that is a sinoatrial node, the first nodal tissue, which is found just at the right hand corner of the right atrium, just below the opening of superior vena cava. So here you find this is a position of, this is the superior vena cava and this is the inferior vena cava. So here you find the SA at this particular spot. This is a spot where you find the SA. So this SA, that is a nodal tissue, that is specialized cardiac muscle tissue, gets stimulated and starts sending electrical signals, right? And it sends about 70 to 72 signals, and these signals will be received by the AVN, which is present near the auriculoventricular septum or the atrioventricular septum, and is found at the left bottom corner of the right atrium. So the signals which begin from the SAN will be carried by the pathways to the AVN. And when it reaches the AVN, it then from there it will be transmitted through the bundle of His towards the ventricles. So when the SAN starts sending the signals, the atria gets a signal that it's time for it to contract. So both the atria immediately both the atria now contracts. The contraction of the atria is called as atrial systole. It is called as atrial systole. This lasts for just 0.1 second. So during atrial systole, what happens is both the AV valves, that is the tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve, closes with a sound called as the lub sound. Right? Then what happens is the atria gets filled with blood, right? It starts exerting a pressure on the AV valves. Once it starts exerting the pressure on the AV valves allow only unidirectional flow of blood. So from the atria, the blood flows through into the ventricles. From the right atria, the deoxygenated blood flows into the right ventricle, and from the left atria, the blood flows into the oxygenated blood flows into the left ventricle. So the valve which is found between the right atria and the right ventricle is the tricuspid valve, and the valve which is found between left atria and left ventricle is the bicuspid valve. So from the atria, during atrial systole, what happens is the blood flows into the ventricles. At the same time, the AVN, by now simultaneously what happens? The AVN sends the signals, the signals which are received by the AVN will be transmitted through the bundle of His to the ventricular walls. Right? Now, ventricular wall gets the signal that it's time for it to contract. So this atrial systole will be followed by ventricular systole. This lasts for about 0.3 seconds. So ventricular systole is followed by atrial systole. And yesterday I have told you, the AVN receives the signals from SAN with a slight delay, and this delay makes sure that the ventricles contract only after the contraction Hope it's clear. So these are the three major events which take place during the cardiac cycle. Now during ventricular systole, what happens? The AV valve closes, right, with a lub sound, and the semilunar valves open. Where do we find the semilunar valves? One valve is found at the opening of the pulmonary artery and the right ventricle, and another one is found at the opening of the aorta and the left ventricle. So the semilunar valves, that's also called as the pulmonary valve and aortic valve. Pulmonary valve is a semilunar valve found at the opening of the pulmonary artery, and aortic valve is a valve which is found at the opening of the aorta. So these two valves, semilunar valves, during ventricular systole, the semilunar valves open, and as a result of that, the blood will be pumped. The blood will be pumped into these two blood vessels, that is pulmonary artery on the right side and aorta on the left side. And the pulmonary artery carries a deoxygenated blood to the lungs for purification, that is exchange of gases, and from the aorta, the blood will be pumped to different parts of the body through various arteries. Hope it's clear. So now when the ventricles are in systolic position, what will be the condition of atria? Atria will be in diastolic position. The same way, when atria is in systolic position, ventricles will be in diastolic position. Okay, so atrial systole and ventricular diastole is one and the same. The same way, ventricular systole and atrial diastole is the same. Hope it's clear. So the closure of AV valves causes lub sound, and the closure of semilunar valves produces a dub sound. So this is one complete heartbeat. Okay, and all these three events occurs or takes only 0.8 seconds. So one heartbeat includes 0.4 second of joint diastole, then 0.1 second of atrial systole, and 0.3 seconds of ventricular systole. Together it is 0.8 seconds. So one cardiac cycle takes only 0.8 seconds. And as you know, in the related with this, we have to study one term, that is stroke volume and cardiac output. So first one is stroke volume. Now what is stroke volume? The amount of blood which is pumped out from one of the ventricles during one cardiac cycle is called as, okay, during one heartbeat, okay, that is called as stroke volume. What is that stroke volume definition? Once again I repeat, the amount of blood pumped out from the ventricle per heartbeat, that is called as stroke volume, and it is found to be about 70 ml of blood. So during one heartbeat, 70 ml of blood will be pumped out from one of the ventricles. Now like that, in a minute, how many times does the heart beat? You all know that heart beats 72 times per minute. So what will be the cardiac output? Cardiac output can be defined as the amount of blood which will be pumped out from the ventricles per minute. That means in a minute. So per heartbeat 70 ml, and in a minute there will be 72 heartbeats. So about 5040 ml, that means 5.040 liters. 5 liters of blood will be pumped out from the heart every minute. Every minute, in a minute, about 5 liters of blood will be pumped out from the heart. So this is called as cardiac output. Hope you all understood what is cardiac cycle, what is stroke volume, and what is cardiac output. Okay. Now, so that is all about cardiac cycle, and we can define cardiac cycle as the alternate systole followed by a diastole. alternate systole followed by a diastole is called as cardiac cycle, and it involves three major events or phases. The first one, joint diastole, second one is atrial systole, and the third one, ventricular systole. Now, related with this, we have to study one more topic, that is electrocardiograph. Right? Electrocardiograph. You must have heard. What is the short form of electrocardiograph? ECG. Right. Now, do you know the instrument which is used to measure blood pressure? BP. What is BP? It is the pressure exerted by the blood when it flows through the blood vessels. BP is nothing but the pressure exerted by the blood when it flows through the blood vessels. Now, the BP of human beings is measured by using an instrument by name sphygmomanometer. So what is sphygmomanometer? It is nothing but the instrument which is used to measure BP. You all must have seen whenever you go to a doctor, the doctor normally takes the BP of the patient, right? He ties a cuff around this upper arm, and then he uses that air pump, right, to press that. He presses that, and the pressure will be created, and then the mercury in the manometer, it rises, and then he writes one reading. Most probably the reading will be 80, 120 or 70, 110, like that. Right? Now, the normal blood pressure of a healthy human individual is 80/120 mm of mercury. Now, what does this 80 and 120 stands for? 80 is the diastolic pressure, and the 120 is the systolic pressure. So, during contraction of the heart, normally in a healthy human individual, the systolic pressure will be 120 and diastolic pressure will be 80 mm of mercury. So the doctor gets a sound. So after tying the sphygmomanometer, the clasp onto your upper arm, the doctor keeps the stethoscope in his ears and keeps the other end of the stethoscope onto your one of the artery, right? So he hears that lub sound in his ears, and accordingly he note down the reading. So one reading will be representing the diastolic pressure, and the other one will be representing the systolic pressure. Hope it's clear? Okay, so that is the instrument called as sphygmomanometer. Another important instrument is electrocardiograph. Electrocardiograph, ECG. The full form of ECG is electrocardiograph. This is the instrument which is used to find out the electrical activity which take place inside the heart during the heartbeat. So when the heart beats, the electrical activity which is going on in the heart can be represented, graphically represented, by using this instrument called as electrocardiograph. And the name of the instrument is electrocardiograph, and what you get the readings, that is the readings will be, you must have seen, if you have seen the strip of an ECG, you must have seen the strip will be like this. Right, again it continues. So this is one wave, right? So ECG, this is called as the P wave. This is called as the QRS complex, and this is known as the T wave. So an electrocardiogram, this is the electrocardiogram, the electrical representation or graphical representation of the electrical activity in the heart taken by an electrocardiograph is called as the electrocardiogram, right? The graph is called as electrocardiogram. Now this electrocardiogram consists of three waves. The first wave is called as the P wave, the second one is called as the QRS wave, and the third one is called as the T wave. Hope it's clear? Right. Now let's see what do all these waves represent. The first the atrial systole or contraction of atria. P wave represents atrial systole or contraction of atria. Then the second one, that is QRS complex. Atrial systole is followed by what? Ventricular systole. So QRS complex represents ventricular systole or contraction of ventricles. Right? And so QRS wave, it also represents depolarization. Then T wave. Okay, so P wave represents atrial systole, QRS complex represents ventricular systole, and T wave represents repolarization of ventricles. That means repolarization of ventricles means ventricular diastole. So these are the three different waves which are found in ECG or an electrocardiograph. So P wave represents the atrial systole or the electrical excitation of the atria. QRS complex represents the ventricular systole or depolarization of ventricles, and T wave represents the repolarization of ventricles, also called as the ventricular diastole. So that is all about the electrocardiograph and the electrocardiogram. So you may get a question, write a note on electrocardiograph. And then you have to explain, you have to draw this diagram and then explain the three different waves. There is a P wave, QRS complex and the T wave. Hope it's clear? So that is all about the cardiac cycle, the electrocardiograph as well as manometer. Hope you all understood. That's all for today.